Welcome to season two, episode four of the Punk Rock Drummers podcast, where we'll talk with someone who was or isn't a punk band or is just inspired by the music. Today's guest is,
Gavin Hammon of the Dancehall Crashers. One of my favorites.
yeah, this was cool, man. I wasn't, I listened a lot to one of their albums when I was younger, but I wasn't like terribly familiar. So I like these episodes where I get to learn a little bit and, start diving back into some stuff I haven't heard before. And it was fun, man. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, this is one I got to kind of nerd out and because I've been such a huge fan of Dancehall Crashers for years. I mean, back to high school and I love ska. Ska music makes me happy. Some people some people would disagree, but it's certainly something that I always go back to and listen to, especially Dancehall Crashers, because I mean, like they're so upbeat and happy, and Gavin's drumming is just always like perfect. It's just like he's like a metronome. So I've always appreciated that about him. And I saw them, well, I saw them back in like 98, I think, and that was the last time I saw them play.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was good. Good show, and I really hope to see them again, but you don't know. I mean, they're playing all the Warp Tour shows right now. So hopefully they'll do some club shows soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we do have a little bit of exciting news that
Yeah.
we have a new sponsor, which is SJC Drums. So
Hmm.
that's fucking rad. Thank you, Jeff, for and the rest of the crew at SJC for reaching out and believing in us and being willing to get behind us. I'll try not to swear too much or say too many horrible things so it doesn't affect your business. But you can hop over to their website. It's just sjcdrums.com, and you can use the code Punk Rock Drummers for a percentage off of your purchases. And I believe that applies to their custom shop as well, for drums, t-shirts, all that good stuff. So yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, a podcast like ours getting um just anything from a drum company, especially like SJC, is just unheard of in my opinion. So thank you guys for working with us and believing in us and all of that. So I really appreciate you guys too.
And I will say it was quite a trip when we hopped on our meeting with them, and it turns out that Jeff and I grew up in neighboring towns and actually
Yeah.
knew each other. It was a weird thing. So it seems like it was meant to be.
Yeah, for
So
sure. Sure. Yeah, and the funny thing is somebody sent me buddy Chad sent me an ad. They were looking to hire somebody, and I responded to it, but you had to live there, so I didn't live there. So I guess, yeah, Jeff was like, "Hey, let's talk. Let's talk about maybe the podcast or something." And so we did, and that's how it all came to fruition.
yeah, buddy.
You never know.
Oh, also, real quick, I wanted to give a shout out to Charles and the team over at Bifocal Media for hooking up with these sweet T-shirts. This is my favorite pop punk band, Napalm Death. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They play like really like light, just sort of like emo Midwestern pop. It's good. You should check it out. Wait, no, but yeah, no. Charles was nice enough to, after our interview with Brian Walsby, who is one of the artists over at Biofocal that did this sweet Napalm Death shirt. He was kind enough to send us some shirts, so please go support them. It's a whole team of like just independent artists. Chris Sherry, who does a lot of work for like Descendants and stuff, does great portrait work. Brian, of course, and a team of other artists. So support them. Great bunch of people, and thank you, Charles.
Yeah, I got a sweet RKL and all shirt too.
You got all the shirts?
All of them.
I got oh. Wow, wow. Dad jokes.
Also, I wanted to talk about this is really cool. Liz from Full Circle Company, they make they get old broken cymbals and make all sorts of things, jewelry, drum keys, bracelets, dog tags. Um,
Bottle openers
it's
for you
yeah, a
water
bottle of
lovers.
yeah. So if you're
Water.
watching, this is the drum key. It's pretty cool, and it looks like it's got a bottle opener on it too. It goes on your keychain, but it's a broken cymbal. Really cool. This is the dog tag right here, but it says Punk Rock Drummers on it. It's a Punk Rock Drummers um logo.
But if you have a Dremel, you can etch podcast into it. It's fine.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll
It's
have to
okay.
talk to her about getting some podcast ones made. But for full circle so I'm sorry, fullcirclecompany.co is their website.
Sweet.
Check them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'll be in, well, when this, yeah, so this will come out tomorrow on Friday. So I will be in New Jersey next week for Stoked for the Summer with Bouncing Souls, Lagwagon, H2O, Crazy in the Band, Crazy in the Brains, and I can't, I'm so sorry, I can't remember the other bands off the top of my head. But I'm going to have a few Punk Rock Drummers t-shirts with me. So if you can find me, hunt me down.
Punk Rock Drummers
I'm just,
podcast t-shirts.
yes, yes. Don't actually hunt me down. That'd be weird. But if you see me and if I have any shirts, I'd be happy to give them to anyone that finds me and get some stickers and stuff too. And it'll be fun. It'll be cool to meet some new people. So I'll be hanging around pretty much all day.
Yeah. And I just got home from Belgium a couple days ago. I went out there with my band Fire Sale to play Brack Rock, and that was an awesome experience. I'm still suffering a little bit of jet lag, exhaustion, you name it. It's nice to be home, but man, that experience was amazing. I've never been to Europe before, let alone played music over there, which was amazing. Met a lot of cool people, made some new friends, and I hope we get to go back next year and do it again. So
Sweet.
our next show is at Music for Cancer in Canada. So if you're in Montreal, uh, St. Therese, come see us. I can't remember what day we play or anything like that, but it'll be amazing. Yeah, so Eric Butow, who runs the Punk Rock Bass Players group, Facebook group, joined us to take over on bass for Matt Riddle, and he was amazing. So he did a really great job. So big shout out to Eric. Any other news?
Uh, no, not that I can think of.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we hope you enjoy the interview with Gavin. Great guy, excellent drummer. He's a voice actor. He's probably you've probably heard him in your children's toys. He was a Furby, I know. So,
Just
yeah,
just to be clear, Matt said Furby. He's not a furry.
yeah,
I just
Furby.
I
Yeah.
think we need to differentiate. Nothing wrong if you people. I don't mean it like that, but I don't want to. Sorry. He's
Yeah,
also
Furby.
the voice of your giant Halloween skeletons.
Oh
Just
yeah.
kidding. Is he? Was he? I don't
I
remember.
think he is probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, yeah, it's a really great interview. Hope you enjoy it. And yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, we're good.
Well, let's do it.
Later, nerds. Oh, the thing doesn't swing anymore.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how are you, Gavin?
I'm good. You guys can hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, you
I've
sound
got a
great.
weird light up behind me. Hang on a second. Hopefully it's a little better. What's up?
Man, what we're just sitting here like doing Midwestern accents for some reason,
Oh
Canadian
yeah.
accents.
Oh
And
yeah.
and I asked
Told
Christian if he'd seen the movie Fargo, and he said no. And I was like,
Oh
okay,
no. Gotta see
yeah.
Fargo. Fargo's amazing.
I mean, I
Yeah.
watched the show.
Oh, I hear the show's amazing. I've never seen the show.
It's pretty good.
I hear it's great.
Oh,
My
Fargo? Yeah.
brother loves it. Yeah. But the movie's
Yeah.
fantastic. I love the film.
I
But I'm a
know.
Big
It's so
Coen Brothers
amazing.
fan.
Yes, me too.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you guys. The minute our kids go to bed early enough for my wife just and I to stay awake through a movie, we'll watch Fargo. But in the last three movies, both of us went.
Yeah.
Wow.
How old are your kids?
7, 11, and 13.
Oh wow. You're close. You're getting there. You're really close.
Well, I should say 7, 11 because 13 is just shut in their room all the time.
Yeah.
So Yeah. You?
That gets better. So 17 and 21.
Oh wow.
17 yesterday, 21 happens, I think, on Saturday or Sunday.
Oh
So
geez.
You don't
we're good
know?
planners. No, I know. I know the day is the sixth, but I don't know which day
I
of the week
gotcha.
that is. I know the number.
My
That was a good save.
my
Good
Day of
daughter's
the
save.
week.
8.
I have no idea what day of the week it is. So
I
yeah.
think it's Tuesday. I don't know. No,
So no,
it's
today is
Thursday.
Thursday.
It's
Yeah,
a T day.
Yes.
That's all we need
it
to
is a
know.
tea day.
Yeah, because there's gonna be fireworks going off like crazy. I'm in Texas and we do
Yeah,
fireworks like crazy. So I
yeah.
know tonight they're doing the city's fireworks show, and that means everyone else is gonna do them too. And it lasts
We'll
for
Yeah.
play
about
a
a week.
Oh
we'll
yeah.
play a little game called fireworks or gunshots.
Oh, out here you
Well,
never
man,
know.
Woo! That's what
COVID changed all that so much because it was all of a sudden it was just like the fireworks just go on for days now because everybody has them. And I've always lived in counties in California where like they're legal, but that
Hmm.
that doesn't stop anybody.
Yeah,
yeah.
I live in the county, so it's legal for me to do them at my house, but I back up to like 300 acres of like
No,
cedar trees,
yeah,
and
they
it hasn't
they
rained in a
want to
long
burn.
time.
Yeah,
So
Probably not a good idea.
I'm too afraid of just like setting the whole neighborhood on fire.
yeah. No,
That's
don't
good
be
that
that
you
guy.
it's good
I
that
get
you're
a little
thinking of that.
crazy with fireworks sometimes, but I haven't done fireworks in years and years. So every year you see someone with their hands blown off,
Yeah,
and it makes
it's
me
a
not want
young
to do
man's game. It
it.
is. It's a young man's game. We get
Well,
old and we shouldn't do it anymore.
people like us need as many fingers as we can hold on to, right?
This is
Especially as
true.
drummers, that's something I'm always afraid of because I train dogs and
Oh wow.
I don't take aggressive dogs or dogs that I think are going to bite because I play drums way too much
Yeah.
and I'm so afraid of getting a finger mangled or something.
Just any sort of hand wound.
It
Yeah,
doesn't,
that's gonna
yeah.
hurt like hell.
Yes, yes, especially if it's on the inside and you're like
Oh yeah.
rubbing on, So that's my biggest fear right there. Dogs that I train every
Yeah.
day.
We've got three dogs, but if you're training dogs, you're probably dealing with dogs that are gonna bite you.
So I don't have to take every dog, that comes in for a consult. I can say, I know a trainer that likes these kinds of dogs. I'll
That's
take your
more suited.
happy-go-lucky dog.
Yeah,
You're a
exactly.
dogsist. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, we have four dogs, and I think what Christian, you have one?
Yes,
Yeah.
that I know of. There could be other ones in my yard. I
We have three.
We have holes in our fences, so
So
Yeah.
what part of California are you in?
So I'm in basically the San Francisco Bay Area. I
Okay.
was born here and kind of grew up here and never really left. My wife and I lived in Santa Cruz for a little while,
I
which is
love it there.
still like an hour away. It's not like super far, 2 hours now.
Hmm.
But yeah, but aside from that, I've always kind of lived here. But we've toured. We went around the world a few times. Did like Europe. We didn't do a lot of Asia or nowhere in Africa or South America, but did like 48 of the 50 states. So I've seen most of it. And like Northern California, it's never not been nice to me. So,
So you never played in Hawaii or Alaska?
oh, we did. We did play in both of those.
I was just
So
assuming those were the two that you didn't
yeah,
go
no,
to.
it's solid. No, and we've driven through states, but we didn't. I don't think we played in Alabama. I don't think we ever played in and this is also like I've driven through them. I don't know that we've
Sure. Yeah,
played
yeah.
all 48 states, certainly, but yeah, I haven't driven through. I think North Dakota and possibly Wyoming because I
Hmm.
don't think I made that trip. My brother has, who
Yeah.
plays guitar in dance hall crashers.
Yeah, y'all look exactly alike.
We don't.
Well,
A
you
little
did
bit.
in
We
96.
used to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Less so now. He
So,
has two daughters. I have two sons. So I
okay.
think that having daughters has made his forehead grow faster than mine. Mine's growing plenty fast, but
you
his
know,
forehead grew a little
I would
faster than
like to
mine did.
dispute that, but yeah, I have three girls, and my brother has a son and a daughter, and he's got more hair than me. So,
Ah, yeah.
I have
I wonder
one
if there's a
daughter and
direct.
lost all my hair. And she's the easiest kid in the world. So, I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, it's you still just worry about him. Sons, it's kind of like, well, he's alive and we made it through the day.
Yeah,
So
boys are tough.
I think
yeah,
boys don't
mine have
allow
not
you enough
been.
time to think much past that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, mine were always just kind of sitting around playing video games, so it's been easy enough for them.
Yeah,
But
for sure. So I was, I've been a huge fan of Dance Hall Crashers for like, I
oh,
don't
thank you.
know, since the 90s. And I was just binging a bunch of live stuff. I love watching live
Oh
videos,
wow,
especially, but
cool.
I saw that someone had put up one of your recent shows, and I was watching that. That was cool. It wasn't the Warped Tour show, but it was a club show. I don't know if it was
Yeah,
related.
probably one of the ones in the at the Great American Music Hall in San Francisco. We did
Yes.
June 6th and 7th. We played two of those. And yeah, there were a bunch. There's like, everybody's got a phone now.
Yeah.
So different from the last time we played. It's like everybody recorded everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had fans that were up in the balcony and stuff. But yeah, we just decided to do those two shows because Warped was the thing that like the impetus for us to get back together.
Yeah.
Because we hadn't done anything in 20 years
Believe me,
plus.
I know.
Yeah.
well, would you mind
So
if we asked sort of? I mean, should we start sort of present and work back maybe a little
well,
bit?
whatever you want to do. I'm honored to be here. I do a lot of like pods and stuff for like the voiceover stuff that I do
Yeah.
because that's what I do as my other job or the job I've been doing the last 20 years.
I do want to ask you about
But
that later.
Well, that's why you did that
sure.
accent so well. All right, makes
Oh
sense.
yeah.
Makes
Well, no,
sense.
mine weren't all that good, but I'm a pretty good mimic, I guess. But no, whatever you guys want to talk about, this is cool to me because I don't think I've ever had an interview for playing drums, so
Well, I mean, I
it's
would like to
deeply
ask,
validating.
other
Yeah.
than what you just said, but how did it come about of just getting back together after 20 years and um, mostly like I'm trying to think how to word it properly. I mean, you have what is there, 6 members?
We are five. So
Five.
we've
Okay.
been five. We were six on like two of our, or one Lockjaw, we were six.
Mhm.
And then
Okay.
and that was the record we put out, I think in 95 or
Yeah.
96 or
Yep.
something. Yeah.
Okay.
And then 97, Honey, I'm Homely was five of us. And then Purr came out after that was also five of us. We
Okay.
did
Okay.
have other people playing on Honey, I'm Homely. We had Kincaid Smith and Efren Santana from Hepcat playing horns. I can't remember. I know there's keyboard and stuff on there too, but
Well,
we've had people over there, but we've been basically five people.
yeah, I mean, the reason I ask is, I recently started playing with some old friends again, for like a little tribute show we're doing, but I'm not to make it about me, but trying to get
No,
the three
please.
of us together in a room, living in the same
Oh
town was
yeah,
brutal. So, I mean, that was probably a big challenge too. So, I mean, if you could talk maybe about how you guys actually linked up and decided to get through, if it was a lot
sure.
of back and forth or.
So we'd still been in contact with each other, especially over the last like 3 or 4 years, because we got the rights back to our Lockjaw record from MCA or Universal. We in part of the Artist Forgiveness Program, which is incredible. So we just own our record now because we had never recouped it. When you're on a major label, it's really pretty challenging to recoup because anything you're spending is also sort of adding to. How it works. So that we got that back. So we'd been basically talking to each other. Every so often, someone would say like, "Hey, it'd be really cool if we did a show," and then usually one person, I don't want to rat them out, would say not interested because we all had kind of other things happening. Karina's still very much performing musically, especially in the San Francisco Bay Area. She plays with like I think 13,000 groups and just kind of is doing 72 shows a week, something like that. It's a ton.
Wow.
Um, those might be inflated numbers. And then my brother Jason got a job and he's been working, doing kind of working in tech. He has a degree in law. And so he tends to do important things at places that make things or make software. I don't understand any of it. Mikey, who plays bass, had like stores. He opened stores in New York and then opened one in Los Angeles, moved back here. And Elise has just been working in music and working for labels in all sorts of capacities that I don't understand. And I was talking, talking into a can, doing stupid voices, making toys and shit. But so Kevin Lyman, the
Warped
beloved
Tour.
creator of
Mhm.
Warped Tour, had been sort of reaching out to us to come back, to do it. He was like, "We're getting back together for the 25th. You guys played like the second. He's always been like a huge supporter of us and kind of like super kind and super cool to us. So I think that's what it took. And so Elise, who sings and is the manager of the band, came to us and was like, they are offering us this to come and do some shows, and I think it'd be cool. I'm interested, and so, but let's get together and practice and see if we can do it.
How
Um,
gratifying were those first couple
oh,
practices?
oh, they were horrible. They were horrible.
But like it had to be fun though, right? Like
It was cool. It was really like there was a lot because it had been 20 years. It was always a little nerve wracking, especially being a drummer. Like a lot of the stuff's fast. I can't play that fast anymore. Like you listen to the live record and it's like, I don't know what the fuck we were smoking, but it was like we played that fast, like probably 30% faster than anything we'd ever done.
Yes, you
And we
did.
played that set twice.
Yeah.
We played it two times so that if there was a mistake, we could overdub something in. And
Adrenaline.
so I guess so. Adrenaline and, back when my body used to have testosterone in it. But so, we just started practicing, and this was back in December of last year, because he's like, yes, the show will be June or July 20th, or first one was June 12th or something, or 13th in DC. The day after and the day of the Great Parade, which was interesting. But so we went
am
there.
I sensing a little sarcasm with this great parade here?
No, it was received how it was received, I guess. There was a lot of swag on the streets, which was noticeable. But so we started practicing back in December, and we Jason and I had still been in bands. We were in like an 80s cover band. We've got like a country band called King Cab. We play in a punk band with the bass player from Limp, our buddy Serge, and Mary is our singer, Mary Diradon. And we've been kind of playing together for, the whole time. So we were still pretty in shape. We just had to kind of relearn songs and stuff. I don't think Mikey had like played or touched a bass in 15 years,
Oh,
so it was
he's such a
probably
good
hard
bass
on
player.
him.
Yeah. Oh, and
He's
that,
really solid. He and I, like, the first band that I was ever in was with Mikey Weiss. We've been in bands together for 40 years now,
yeah.
probably just about. Yeah, we
Wow.
were in a high school funk metal band. I'm jumping around in terms of the timeline. I'm sorry about that.
No,
No, you're
it's
good.
great.
But yeah, so we just started practicing and it sounded okay. And then I think it started to sound pretty good. I feel like these days we probably sound, especially at the shows I think we did in San Francisco, I think we sounded probably better than we ever really have, just because I think everything's more musical and makes more sense.
I
Well, you're
was
It's
also
like
probably playing at the intended tempo
tempos.
as
Yeah,
well, which
some of them are a little probably faster than the intended tempo, but definitely like closer to the recorded tempo.
right.
So,
Yeah.
because
that's
we,
what I noticed when I was
can't
watching
sing
that
them anymore.
video.
Can't play them anymore.
Well, when I was watching the video, because I think I'm so used to listening to anything live, very fast, and so I was like, oh, they're playing things closer to the actual tempo now. I was like,
They're playing things reasonably.
I think they probably discussed that at practice. Not that they're
Oh
getting older.
yeah, no, absolutely. We're getting older, but it was also very much discussed at practice. Yeah, and we were doing like long blocks where we'd practice for 4 or 6 hours for a few days. Scheduling was tough, but like once a month, Elise would fly out. She is also in Texas. And then Karina is here. Jason and I are all still in the Bay Area. Mikey lives in LA, so he would either fly or drive up. And then John Graber, who's been playing guitar with us and doing monitors and everything else, he lives in LA, so either they drive together. A lot of times they stay at my house because I live fairly close to the practice space. But
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, once a month we would rehearse, and try to just get things sounding good, and then sort of like we had a bunch of songs and then it was whittling it down to make like a set list for a club show, when we're going to play for an hour and a half, versus a 40-minute warped set. So we had to know all those songs, be able to play them, and then I think the trickiest part for me was just like I can play all those songs over the course of 4 hours, but can I play all of those songs in like an hour and 20 minutes? I don't know. So cramming them all together again was
Yeah, for
definitely the
sure.
hardest part.
Well, I feel like you always kind of carry muscle memory no matter how long,
No doubt.
you
Yeah.
know, but it's if your muscles can still do it is
Yeah,
the
for sure.
difference.
Yeah, and like the nice thing was like I used to really have a lot of issues with my hands where I was probably moving the stick too much, in terms of like because I learned like a proper sort of Chuck Brown grip, which was like basically like a molar sort of tap release or tap collect, but it was via Chuck Brown from Jeff Campitelli in Danville, California, where he taught. Um, and so I would a lot of times I can't necessarily articulate that when I'm playing like a punk rock thing. I'd like end up choking closer into this fulcrum rather than this one. So then I would get all kinds of slippage and I'd get blisters and my hands would be a total mess. And this time I don't think I'm doing anything better technically at all, but I didn't have any sort of blister issues thus far. So
Yeah, I
Are
touch
you
know.
wood.
noticing that more with one hand than the other? Because for me,
Always with my left. Yeah.
it's
Oh,
funny. It's my right that I always tend to choke
Yeah,
more
for
on.
me, it's just I let it kind of slip around too much, in that fulcrum here, between my. It's supposed to be on my first, in terms of like where the proper sort of technique, but I tend up in my second, and that lets it slip too much. But I've just probably been practicing just letting it be there more often because
Mhm.
I talked to Jeff Campitelli's the guy that I studied with for 15 or so years, and he was like, oh yeah, he used to be very much of a stickler for the technique, and it's like when you're learning the technique, it's very important that you're sitting there and you're practicing in your practice pad, and it's consistent, and you're monitoring your tempo and moving it up and down, moving it up and moving it down to articulate it and whatnot. But yeah, talking to him later, he's like, "Hey, you just got to kind of play where it feels good and just sort of not worry about it." And I'm like,
I
God
won't.
damn it. Yeah.
Well, it's funny is the more drummers that we have come on, that stick positioning and grip has come up more than a few times as far as trying to leave like like a little bit of space
Yeah.
in here, and how helpful that's
Hmm.
been. It's crazy. So it's funny. Yeah, I feel like a lot of it's the tail end where you spent some time on technique early on, where we were just going crazy, and now it's like I'm learning technique just to be able to keep playing.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
I
it's
mean, at least
been
you're learning
fun.
it. Yeah. No, for me, I started playing. I was 12, I think, when I started taking lessons, maybe 11. But my brother was taking guitar lessons, and like my parents were always really wanting us to do something musical. Neither of them were musical at all. I don't know why, but they wanted us to play instruments or something like that. We did piano as kids, but that were never really gelled or stuck with me. So my brother started playing guitar. And they're like, there's a drum teacher there too. And my brother's like, yeah, you should play drums. So I have a drummer. I'm like, okay. Essentially, as I recall, that was the conversation. So I started taking lessons from Jeff Campitelli of Joe Satriani fame.
Yep.
Played in the Squares too, and then played Surfing with the Alien and all that sort of
He
thing.
was in Cannibal Corpse for a while too, right?
I don't think so. That'd be amazing. He could probably do it, but I don't know that he'd want to. No, and he and I live in the same town, and he's kind of local here, and he's a local, you know, legend for just sort of participating in the community and the schools and whatnot. But fantastic drummer. Anyway, so I started taking lessons with him, and he was like very regimented. Very, he had, he was a student of Chuck Brown, and he was very, meticulous. The technique was very important, but it was, we were working at a syncopation. Eventually, we got into like the Rick Latham books when those came out. Those were super fun. And yeah, it was a lot of writing, a lot of sort of like figuring out parts and charting stuff. Not musically, but drum charts, which I can still read fairly well. I can't read music charts, but I can follow the rhythms, kind of.
Yep.
But yeah, and then I ended up in Dancehall Crashers because Mikey and I were in a band together. This like terrible funk metal band that I still adore. It was called Voodoo Opera, and it was awful, but it wasn't. It was great. But it was me and our friend Dan Lee and our friend Raleigh Thompson and Mikey Weiss, and yeah, it was just kind of during that whole mid to early 90s, late 80s kind of Red Hot Chili Peppers, Limbo Maniacs, Primus, Faith No More, all those bands, which most of them, except for the Chili Peppers, Bay Area funk and metal bands that kind of came up here. We would like play shows, these 18 band shows where we'd play like first, and like you'd have to buy 100 tickets in order to like be on the bill, and then you try to sell them if you could. Yeah, we did tons of those, and I ended up in DHC because my brother was in it. The previous drummer, the first drummer for the band, quit, and I joined. I was 17 years old, which was kind of terrifying. And I was, learning somebody else's parts and try to figure out how to play them. Fortunately, I had some sort of technical background, so I could at least play 16th notes fairly fast. At first, I was kind of playing them two-handed, but then eventually I was just sort of, and then it just became kind of some sort of tap release thing, I think, that I do that's not very technical or very precise, but it makes it, still something I can do at, 51 years old. But yeah. Sorry, what was your question?
No, this is amazing because honestly, you answered the next three questions I was going to ask anyway.
Fuck.
So
Sorry.
no, that's not fuck, because usually I talk way too much. So this is actually like this is fucking amazing for me. I love it.
Sadly, I talk for a living, so
that's good.
Easy for me to just.
That's what you're supposed to do on this.
Oh, good. Lately, like I've had this one particular gig that I can't say what it is, but it's like for a tech company where a lot of what we do the entire time is we sit there, we get paid a handsome amount of money, per hour for 4 hours, and we basically just talk to another person. We just kind of sit there. We might have a prompt that we say, we might have to play a certain role, a certain persona, or a certain customer sort of vibe, and we just sit there and talk. Sometimes improvise, sometimes off a script. And I get paid for it. No, I'm not. I wish that I were. Yeah, it's stupid sometimes, but it's a fun job. It's strange.
Is that awesome. That's not voice acting, right? That's something different.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, it's still. I mean, all the people that they hire are voice actors. So.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so it's a strange job because it's tons of different stuff. It's like interactive toys, like video games, commercials, like corporate narration for, conferences and stuff, movie trailers, characters for, at Disneyland and Universal Studios, animatronic things you buy at Home Depot that talk and scare you and make all kinds of noise.
Ooh, are you that big skeleton?
I'm actually quite a few of those. I've done a lot of those with
my kids are gonna be so pumped. I'll be like, you don't know the band he was in, but he is one of those giant skeletons.
Even better is like one of our original horn players, trumpet player, Jeremy Goody, is the guy that I work with. He produces those. Like he creates the music and the audio, and like we work together and do them. So it's like a guy that I've known since I was 17, 35 years. But yeah, no, see, all of those are aspects of voiceover, and all of those are things that I have been fortunate to do. So yeah, it's a really cool job if you have kind of the mindset and the temperament for it.
There's a guy here that his dad built my house, and he came by one day, and he was like, yeah, my son does voiceover stuff for Halo or something. And I was like, I play Halo all the time, and
I was in Halo.
You were in Halo
3 and 4, I think.
Which one? What were you, like a little grunt?
I don't know. I'm some Spartan.
Oh, Spartan? No way.
Yeah,
Me and my cousin and our best friend, we play Halo. Awesome. We like every other day or so, but we always make fun. We always say, man, I wish we could make our own death throws or whatever,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that's not bad. That's not bad.
But
I do a lot of those.
He was trying to get he's an animator, and he was trying to get something going, some show, and he had me do a voice of it was like a nervous groundhog or something like that. I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah.
But nothing,
totally.
but nothing,
I would go, maybe you should just do it now. I mean, why
Yeah,
send it?
right,
Why don't you
right.
just do the nervous groundhog? No
Oh,
pressure.
what did he say? Like,
I need four. Four, one on the first day, two, three.
or something like that. I don't know.
That's fantastic. That is not too far from Porky Pig, too. You add a little more
Oh,
of the
little Mel Blanc.
affectation, and you're basically right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What the fuck is
very
happening
close.
right now?
Watch out for like tell Bob Bergen to watch out. He does the
So I've
voice
reached
for
out
Porky Pig.
because I'm friends with do you know Jared Reddick, Bowling for
I
Soup?
think so. Yeah.
He does Chuck E.
Oh
Cheese
no, I
and
don't. I don't know anybody from Bowling for Soup. I wish I
okay.
did.
Yeah, he like
I
he did
love Phineas and Ferb. Like my
yeah,
kid,
they did the Phineas and
my
Ferb. Yeah, he does
yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese. He's the voice of Chuck E.
Oh,
Cheese
nice.
and I asked him one day, I was like, how did you get into that? You know, and he's like, you have to be like you have to be someone, you have to be a celebrity. And he said, I keep getting I keep getting passed over for Jack Black.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You don't have to be a celebrity. There are a lot of people that are still in those same categories too. There's a whole bunch of guys that are like that do that kind of stuff all the time.
Man, I
I
would
am not one
love
of
to do that.
them, but
Yeah,
it's super fun. It's totally not. You don't have to be a celebrity to do it. If you are a celebrity, it's a lot easier for you
sure.
because you can
Yeah.
basically just walk in and do it. But no, somebody like me, I took classes and like
Yeah.
took me 5 years to get signed with an agent. It was just
Wow.
grinding and grinding and grinding. And now,
And
20 years later,
That's great though.
21-ish,
Good for you.
22-ish later, yeah. And it's
I
a
mean,
good job, and I'm happy to do it.
I heard Jesse Michaels on Craig of the Creek, which was
Ah, nice.
wild to hear him singing in one of
That
my
is
kids'
kind of weird.
cartoons. Yeah.
And that's absolutely just because somebody wanted Jesse Michaels singing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's absolutely an Up Ivy fan. God bless them.
That's so cool. So I'm usually sorry, I have a horrible bug bite on my leg.
No, you're good.
I'm
I'm
full
here,
of
still
mosquitoes
here.
out
I'm just grabbing my water.
Okay.
Tripods are amazing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So I'm a little bit more of like the gear nerd side of things. I don't know how you feel, but I know it's such a generic question.
get
But
into it.
I just love finding out like what people's first kits were. And I know it's like the
Oh, yeah.
cheesiest question in the world, but
No,
I have
totally
I have
not.
my wine red CB theory. So let's see how it works out here.
So the first one, like official one, I don't even really remember because it was just something we borrowed really briefly. But the first, like my first real kit was a Pearl Export. It was black.
Okay.
It was a 5-piece black Pearl Export, and I loved it. It was really cool. It wasn't super great, but it sounded okay.
I mean, they're a reason why they've been around for so long. They're still making them.
Yeah, I mean, it was I think it's particle board or it's not
MDF maybe.
like MDF, yeah, like probably steam bent into tubes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was solid. And then I went like just barely a step up and got a Pearl World, which is the one that had the laminate of a piece of ply, on the inside. So it had like a single ply of actual wood inside, which was very neat.
Were they big? Do you have like some big 80s power toms or?
No, I've always been like a pretty much like it was total standard 12, 13, 16.
Okay.
Which was like the basic sort of stand. And I'm a little dude. I'm like only 5'7" if I'm lucky. So I usually like to play kind of smaller toms anyway. Like my current kit that's behind me is it's like if there's an 8, but I don't really use it. I'm probably just going to be 10 and 14, for coming up the show we have coming up in September. So
I think 10s are very, very underutilized.
oh man, 10s have always been my favorite. Once I got one, it changed my life.
I wrote them off, and that I have a 10. I have an old. It's like a Ludwig thermogloss. So it's a 10 by 9, which is dude, that thing pitched low sounds deeper than my. I mean, I have I have an
This
80s.
nice.
One of the USA made rocker kits from the 80s I got out of a barn for $130. I was gonna clean it up and sell it, but now it's my favorite kit. But it's a 12 by 11, a 13 by 12, and a 16/16. And I don't know. There's just something about those 80s power toms that they rip. They don't look too great, but they play really well.
They do. And I remember like a lot of the guys, like one of the guys I really liked, when I was starting to play too was Mike Borden, who'd basically play those, but he'd have like a 14-inch floor tom as like his rack tom. It's
Yep.
like 14 and 16, 18 and 22 or something like that.
I love it.
I've always appreciated it. And I mean, I grew up listening probably mostly to metal until my brother dragged me kind of into punk rock a little bit, but metal was what he listened to in the 80s. And so I was, listening to Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. And then, the sort of like the glammier ones, Motley Crue and Quiet Riot and Twisted Sister. I had all that shit cut out in like Kerrang and Cream. Like
That's awesome.
Posted on the corkboard with push pins. Yeah. Those good times.
So what is the setup? Like, what are you playing? Is that what the kit you're using live these days?
So the kit that I used at Warped was whatever they had in DC, because we're on 2 of the dates. It's 3 dates, and we just were renting gear. I don't have a big enough, drum sponsor that they'll have something there for me. So this is the guy's name is Al Adinolfi, Boom Theory up in Bainbridge Island, Washington.
I was going to ask you about Boom Theory.
Yeah, so he's been my guy for 26 years. And for these shows that we were doing, I've always wanted an acrylic kit. And I asked him if he knew like how to get one, how to source them, like if he could make one. And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, I've made all kinds of them and I'll make you whatever you want custom. It'll probably be about what it would cost you for, to buy like one of the Superphonics or whatever, one of the Ludwig, not super, the one I mean, the Tobacco Sunrise, any of those sort of, and he did, and he's like, I'll do it. And like, he lets me buy everything at cost, which is rad. Cost just plus his labor. So it's like nothing's marked up. He's always, treated me that way. He's never given me anything for free, except sometimes he like says, beta test this and then never asks for it back. But so this is an acrylic kit.
Well, you better hope he doesn't see this, because now he's going to ask for it all.
Oh yeah, he won't actually, because I keep offering it to him. He's the most wonderful guy. He's crazy and amazing. He's older Italian guy from New York, living in Seattle or Bainbridge Island. But so this is a 8, 10, 12, all, square sizes. And the thing that's neat about it is like a custom acrylic that he did. So it's like, I don't think any of them, he may have made another one, but if the light hits it just right. So it's blue and green and purple.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but so for the shows that we did, I was intending to use the 8, 10, 12, and then the 14 as a floor. But the 8 was just kind of in the way and difficult for me to maneuver around. And I was like, I'm not super comfortable. I never really played with like a third, rack tom up top. So I just decided to scrap it and just went with the 10, 12, 14. And then I may, for the next shows, just in order not to carry as much stuff, just do the 10 and 14. But and it's got a little 18-inch kick drum, which is super fun.
Do you have it on a riser? Or?
It's got a little sort of, a little
lift
square.
block?
Yeah, lift block on the kick side or the head side.
I remember becoming aware of Boom Theory whenever you did the live. What was it, Live in a Dive or it was a DVD?
I don't remember. I don't know. I know that I met him through. I can't even recall. Someone just kind of recommended him to me because I was looking for, I was looking for a drum company. It had been turned down by everybody. And he was like, I'm not going to give you anything for free, but I'll sell it to you at cost. And if you play any other drums, there's a like a clause in the contract that says I can publicly cane you if you do. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, kept referring to like the thing in Thailand where the kid, there's some kid in Thailand.
Oh yeah, I remember
in
that.
the 90s who got caned. Yeah, so that he thought that was a great idea, and so he put it in his contract. He's never caned anyone, but so it was in there.
But that just shows his restraint and what a kind man he is. He could
exactly. He certainly could.
Not to.
Legally, he has the right to, because he knows too. I was playing a Yamaha kit, on fucking TV. Like 2 weeks ago. So he knows that but he just chooses not to.
But if that's a backline
invoke
issue,
that clause.
he can't, I know,
right?
Some backline clause, but that's crazy.
I could say
that's
like,
funny.
hey man, I would have played your kid if it were there. But no, he's just a single person too. So it's a very small shop, but he makes basically anything that you might want. It's like he's open to the idea. And he gets weird stuff. I've got this kind of crazy little it's like this Australian wood, little 12 by 3 sort of piccolo-y drum, but it's loud as hell, and it's like way deeper and more resonant, especially if I don't like crank it way up. It just like really kind of cracks and cuts through. He just makes really cool shit.
Was the choice for those maple hoops?
This, yeah, they are maple hoops, just because he didn't want to make hoops out of the crazy expensive Australian wood that he only got,
Right.
a few shoots over staves.
Was that a choice for? Did you pick those particular hoops for cross sticking, or?
I did. I just not for cross sticking, just because they think they're cool. So like he made me originally, the kit that he made to begin with was like this sort of Keller shells maple, pretty thick, and then he's you can probably kind of see it. He's a bridge decker, meaning that he does like tapered reinforcements hoops inside. So it's got all kinds of extra sort of, layers of maple in terms of how he's added extra little sort of hoops inside there. And that whole kit that he made originally 25 or so years ago, I asked him to recover and put wood hoops on it. I just always have thought wood hoops were cool.
With that green would
sound
look
good
great too.
Yeah, so he did. He actually recovered those and did like the other kit. He did like a weird kind of like this sort of colorful ombre wood grain wrap on it. Because I've always, I like color. I like sort of shiny things. I like, like
I like sparkle,
blue and green and purple. And I used to love sparkle too. Sparkle looks great, But I love acrylic drums and just the way they look. They sound pretty good. They don't sound as good as maple drums. I probably wouldn't take those into the studio to record, but maybe.
But I feel like playing live, especially live outside,
does not matter.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't think it's gonna make enough with all the reverb and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So okay, so now I'm jumping around a little bit.
Awesome.
I want to, now that I know you're a Finnish guy, because I am as well. I have my old bowling ball blue Ludwigs behind me there, which is like my favorite. So
I wish I had space for all the drums that you have. I've got a few snares down here, but
this is literally the corner of my basement. That they're the 10 inches behind the SNFU deck. That's a 14. I got a couple snares, and there's a rack with the kick drum for the bowling ball blue. Other than that, my drum kit's literally right in front of me. Like you can't see it. So I don't have a lot of not a ton of room, but I can say for me, I can't remember where I saw it, but it was an old Ludwig Citrus mod. Do you remember, like, as a kid, seeing like what was the first drums that you saw that was like, holy shit, that thing's cool looking?
The things that really blew me away, and I've always and I still have never actually, gotten one or bitten the bullet, were like, I don't want to say they're cocktail size, but like definitely short toms, like 70s toms. There was like a Gretsch kit, or a Mapex, maybe both, but like they were definitely like shorter jazz sizes, just 3 across the top, and then like a floor tom, maybe 2 floor toms. I just loved the configuration of 3 across the top, especially when they were short like that. I don't know why. It's like I never really thought giant kits were all that cool. Like tons of cymbals were pretty neat and stuff like that. But for me, it was something just about the simplicity of it. And as I've gotten older, that's definitely true more. It's like I play with too much shit, and I play too many notes, and I have all kinds of dumb little cymbals and things that I'm hitting all the time because I'm in a ska band, But I look at like Carter McLean, and see like he has basically 2 rides, sometimes at China, and then just kind of whatever drums he wants set up,
Right.
And just the sound, that you make with less is, I don't know, something I'm aspire to, I suppose.
I noticed on that video that you had maybe a couple more cymbals than I remember you using in the past.
Oh, hell. I had so many. I had like extra stands set up because I just really wanted to have like, accents. I didn't really know what I wanted to play or what I wanted to bring. It's like I reached out because I'm a Peisty guy. So I reached out to them and got a whole bunch of like splashes and like a bunch of these sort of, PSTs, these little swish ones with the holes in them. I'm not going to take it off, but, and I still had a ton of like the old sort of signatures. So I knew kind of what I wanted to use as crashes. But yeah, I just wanted to have more little noise and stuff. I just thought it was cool because especially for the quieter stuff that we get to do, it's like I get to kind of do more with it. And I'm just,
Hmm.
I feel like having more cymbals means I'm not playing them quite as much, except in parts where I'm like really choosing to like hit, every accent or every sort of guitar thing in a sort of in a punky chorus.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with a little cymbal salad.
Yeah,
Nothing
No.
wrong at
exactly.
all.
I mean, you were
No, I
having a
love
great
like the
time.
little ones too. I had a really good time at both of those shows.
Yeah,
Both
I
of
could
them
tell.
really felt great
I
to
could
me.
tell.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
super fun.
How did you link
Um,
up with Peisty? Are you endorsed? Or are you just kind of always
I
been their
am.
favorite?
I'm
Oh,
still
sick.
an endorser. Thank God. Knock on wood. But no, it was wild because I kind of figured they forgot about me. Because I've been with them for probably 25, 20, maybe even longer. 25 years probably. And I got connected with them through Jeff Camptelli, my drum teacher, and guy that lives close by. And so it was basically I was there on the team kind of from the very beginning, which was awesome. And back then, they used to let you send back cracked cymbals and they'd replace them. I don't think they do that for folks at my sort of in my station anymore. But yeah, and then during COVID, they Tim Shady, I think I'm pronouncing his name right, but one of the reps there reached out to me and was like, "Hey, do you need anything?" And I was like, yeah, I do. And like I wasn't like I was only playing in my own bands, like playing with, King Cab or Beneath You or just something ancillary and fun. But I was like, yeah, I still enjoy fiddling with stuff, with the King Cab, which is a country band that my brother and I have. And there's records on iTunes. But that was I play with like a cajon, so it's like a cajon kit with just a snare, cymbal. It's a lot of brushes, but it's like a country band, so it's more alt country, sort of 16th note brushes, trade beat stuff, and root sticks, stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I wanted to like get some like smaller ride or bigger cymbals. I ended up getting these 16-inch big beats just because they sound really kind of cool and sloshy. Yeah, and they since then I've just been, I still sort of just buy stuff and I get it at artist pricing, which is awesome. So I'm enjoying that as much as possible.
There it
Is
is.
that it?
The drums and the cymbals, I have a deal with Remo, which is rad. That just kind of happened and went through, for all these shows. I've only gotten like an initial sort of order from them, so I'm not pushing anything. I'm hoping that it's still an option. I don't have anybody that I just like Vic Firth sticks, so I just buy those at retail, like everybody else. But I don't have any stick deal or anything like that, and I've never been any at the level to have anything with my name on it. So
Well, dude, I mean, even not even I was gonna say even just, but having a cymbal sponsor is
oh
huge,
yeah, I'm just
especially with the
love it
prices
so
now.
much,
I mean, I
and
kind of bounced
they're
around a lot, but
not
I had a
cheap.
oh, I know. A friend of mine, he actually gave me it's a 22 Dark Energy ride, and that's my
Oh
first
yeah,
Peisty. He has two, and he had one that cracked, and I helped him out with some stuff, and he gave it to me, and it is
nice.
I love it. Like I
Oh
absolutely
yeah,
love that thing. And now it's just funny because now I'm like, oh man, like I have a bunch of K's that I love, like dark
oh yeah.
K's, but now I'm like, man, if I could round out a dark energy set it would be cool. And then I looked at how much they were and I
Those
was
are
like,
so
ooh,
good. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, because they kind of retire stuff too. So I don't know how long the dark energies will be around either. I've looked at those too, but those are like the very tip top end of them. And I'm kind of like, and for me too, it's kind of like I'm not doing so much stuff that like I think the dark energy really kind of feel like they take up a lot of space in terms
right.
of just like the sound in a place. I love the way they sound, but it's like I don't have an application for them that makes tons of sense. I'm looking for things these days, unfortunately, just that are quicker, or not unfortunately, but that are quicker or just snappy or just like
Well,
pingier
those
or something
big
like
beats
that.
are great too.
Oh yeah, these are super fun.
Yeah.
With DHC stuff, I've been using like 13, not signatures, but They were a different. I don't know that they still make them, but they're just really crisp and really thin, and
Were they
they
those
cut through nicely.
the reflectors by any
They weren't
chance?
reflectors. I
No.
want to say that they're. Let me see if I can find. I know I have a 16 around, but I think most of that stuff is still packed in
Yeah,
cases
it's
from
fine.
the shows a couple weeks ago. But yeah, that's what I was using there. And then I ended up getting this weird like duo ride that Feisty makes. They had like a one that came back from something. It's very strange. It's got this like a strip in the middle sort of ring. It's got a really thick, clear, shiny bell, and then a shiny sort of edge. But then in the middle, there's this really rough circle of sort of unpolished, unfinished. Yeah, it's duo something or other. I don't remember what it's called, but it's just like it was a one-off. It ties in with a drummer. I didn't remember or recognize his name. Sorry, but and I'm not remembering what the symbol is now. But it looks super neat.
How's it? How's the sound like
crazy.
when you're playing the different parts of it? You notice a big difference, or
Yeah, I mean, like, so the ridge of it is pretty nice, or the shoulder of it is nice. It cuts through really well, and the bell cuts through really well, and that's what I was looking for, something that didn't have like a ton of decay, because I use mostly this like a 20-inch dry ride, like a signature,
Mhm.
which is really nice, but it doesn't quite cut through, especially when we have like two guitars and stuff. So I just wanted something where the bell was like everybody could hear it pretty nicely and clearly.
Mm.
And this totally kind of fits that bill. What I wanted to use, but can't contractually and don't want to piss anybody off, was my K, my old Zildjian K that I can't use, but love that cymbal too. Just because it's gorgeous. But my old,
Oh
you
yeah,
can't even read what it says anymore.
that looks just like
The
mine.
old K
Is
custom.
that a
I
20?
think is
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
I have the same
you-
ride symbol.
yeah? Can you hold that back up? That's a K custom.
Yeah, the K
Is it-
custom. I would tell you, but you can't. Like, none of the text is there anymore.
Is that what this is? I wonder.
40
Is this
years
the
of
mystery
beating.
symbol, Matt?
Oh
It
yeah,
could
I don't
be.
know.
So this definitely
It
has
looks like it.
really
It
hard
does.
bumps on one part.
Yeah.
What is it?
So
What does yours sound like?
it's very pingy. Like wow. Well, it's funny. So Zoom will block out any noise. We
Oh,
can't
yeah,
even
you
hear
probably
that.
can't hear it. Yep.
Well, I'll ask you this then. What way? The only thing left on this is a stamp. Is
Yeah.
your crescent moon and star facing the bell or facing away?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even think to look at the stamp.
It should be on the other side towards the.
Huh. Where is it? Where would it be?
It's right. I mean, you can barely even see it, but it's like right.
Oh, on the edge.
It's right on the edge. Like you can't even see it in this lighting. You can barely see it right there.
I need to look at mine too.
I don't see it on here at all.
Well, if it's from the '80s, I mean, mine you can.
Yeah.
The stamp is so faded on it, but
Yeah. I don't think it's there anymore. The only thing I can still see is the K, just because I would usually have that pointed away from me.
Yeah.
But it is a K custom for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's what Matt, that might be the mystery symbol, which you
It
don't
may
have to buy
be.
now because you already have one, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
there you go.
mine sounds
Mystery
great. It's got a really great bell on it.
Oh, I love it. Love that symbol so much.
So
It's super
so
fun.
I just bought a sweet ride from a pawn shop down the road, and I was like,
Nice.
yeah, and then I got it back, and I was going out with Down by Law to play a couple
Oh
shows with
yeah,
them
no, that's
about a
so
month
rad.
ago, and we played in Florida with Face to Face, and I was so excited, and I took that symbol, and it's like the bell sounds good, but there's like no peeing at all
Yeah.
like on the actual ride itself. And so I was like, I just didn't have time to mess with it before I left. I just said I'm gonna take it and not my trusted one, and I was very disappointed, but the bell sounded really great.
Well,
They
you got
just
got a great
bell
crash
heavy.
now.
Huh?
You got a
Yeah,
great crash now.
Yeah.
Just beat it. Just
But-
put it straight.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I own a studio here too, so I was like, some drummer will really like that and want to play it on a record. So I'm
Well,
keeping it around.
For what you scored it for too, I think that was a good investment.
Yeah, like $150, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
nice.
that was a good score. I have to ask you, do you have, was there like a piece of gear, snare drum, even a whole kit that you may have let go of at one point that you kick yourself?
Oh, yeah. So I had a Zildjian rock ride that was too much and too washy and too heavy for me, which is weird because, I was playing in like a funk metal band. I think I was playing like a Paiste, like a 2000 or something like that,
Mhm.
something that was okay but super washy. Yeah, and I gave that, or I sold it, I think, for $100 in like probably 1988 or 89 to one of my, like, fellow student of Jeff's. But yeah, I wish I'd hung on to that because I mean, I don't understand ever getting rid of cymbals, like, unless they crack or break, and even then, I just kind of just put those on a stack someplace, and it's
I
like,
had that
wow,
same
it sounds
symbol and
terrible.
yeah, I did the same thing. I had the same symbol. I don't
Yeah,
know
it's a
why I
shame
did that. When you're
because I
young and
think
don't have money,
that's like the one that everybody tells us to get too, because it's
it
like, I don't
is.
know, what do I need? Should I get a ride or should I get a crash? And they're all, get a rock ride, and it's
Mm.
like, okay, but it doesn't, for me, it didn't like, it didn't like fill either hole that I was looking for.
Yeah,
But it is what it is.
yeah, for
Yeah, I
sure.
always just collected whatever I could over the years, but it wasn't until
Oh
probably
yeah.
after COVID where I started caring like a lot. Like Kaza, am I saying it right? Kaja. They're like a smaller cymbal company, but they make
No,
great stuff. You could buy them in a pack for a couple $100, and then I went to our local music store, Parkway Music, when it reopened, and I bought my first new cymbal. I bought a 20-inch K Custom Dark Ride,
yeah, there you
and then I
go.
got home. I set it up with all the other ones and went. It was like that instant, like I gotta get, but like
Yeah,
everything just
now you
sounded
got to go.
horrible compared to it. But
Yeah.
a lot of things people don't really talk about too. Like that ride, it is pretty washy, but when I want a different sound out of it, I just throw like a tiny piece of gaff tape
Oh
up
yeah,
under the bell,
totally,
and
totally.
then towards the end, it completely changes the characteristics. So that might be something to try, Matt, with your sweet ride. Maybe throw a little tape under it and see if you get a little more ping out of it.
Yeah, for
Or
sure.
put some, the little sort of washy things on it. Either a chain or one of the little sort of hammery things,
You can
sizzles.
use we
My
can all use our necklaces from the '90s.
my first
Yeah.
drum kit I ever bought, and this was probably '94. I didn't know much, and it had one of those. It had this huge ride, and it was so. I mean, I assume it was a Zildjian. I think it said like Turkish or Turkey or something on it, and there was nothing else. And it had one of those. It had one
They
of
made
those
a ton of cymbals
beads,
over there, man.
and it was so I didn't understand. I was like, why? I was like, why doesn't this sound like Trey Cool's ride cymbal? And it was like.
Well, dude, Dave
I
Mello
knew
was telling us
nothing.
that the ride that he used for all at Op Ivy was like a 26 or something like that.
Oh,
Like just
Whoa.
an
it's
I didn't
huge.
even
ungodly.
know they made them. How do you even put that in a bag?
I have no idea. I mean, judging, I don't know if you
Two
watched that
people just to
episode.
carry it.
Dave is an amazing storyteller and had
Oh
so
no,
much.
I had no idea you talked to him. I would
So
love to
he was
watch that.
our very first interview, and I know
Oh,
everyone that
it
listens is
just
probably sick of me
it's just
saying
been
this, but
downhill since.
no, I grew up playing to those records, and
Oh yeah, same.
I Chris Farley, Paul McCartney, them the whole time. It's embarrassing. I'm like, do you remember when you were
Do
played drums and
you remember that show that
no,
we played in
that was
October of
awesome. Yeah,
1989?
it was
That was an
awesome.
awesome
Yeah,
show.
but no, yeah, he had a lot of. It was great, but yeah, dude, this is the stuff. I mean, in case you can't tell, the smile on my face while you're talking about snare drums, and when
He
you
never
showed us
smiles.
the inside, I uh,
Oh damn.
I just love talking about gear. I know it's
Oh
probably
yeah, me
boring for some
too.
people, but I don't
No,
really care.
it's
This
for
is
me. It's
this is
like,
for
yeah.
us. This is for the drummers. All right, so let's move on. Kick pedal.
Yep. Kick pedal. So currently like a DW 9000.
I just bought one. I love it.
Yeah, it's really nice. I've been a chain person. Like I had my first pedal ever was like a DW strap drive that I still have because I'm like a gear accumulator and acquirer, and I hang on to it. And so I started there, and then just recently, probably in the last like 3 or 4 years, I got a 9000, and I like it a lot because I wanted something that I felt like I had better, double control with.
Yes. Yeah. And that's why I bought mine too. I bought mine like 2 months ago and love it.
It's good. I always liked the 5000s. The
Hmm.
chain drives were always kind of good enough for me. I've never been super particular though, so it's like I am chronically lazy, and it's like especially if I'm playing like like a club show where we're opening for three other bands, and it's like and I'm using shared backline. It's kind of like I might bring a pedal, I might just kind of take my chances and
Yeah.
see what happens because
Yeah.
there's times I don't necessarily want to carry all that much stuff.
I
So
know the promoter. We're playing Brack Rock in Belgium at the end of this month, and
whoa, nice.
they reached out, and the guy who books for us, he's like, "What kind of pedal do you play?" I was like, "DW 9000." He's like, "All right, I'll get you one," because I just had to carry mine to Florida, and it was such a pain,
Oh
such a
yeah.
pain. Just that extra bag with a pedal in it was such a pain to walk around the airport with.
Yeah, it's that's funny because we just did Warped and I
Hmm.
didn't bring anything.
Yeah,
I didn't bring stick. I brought sticks. I didn't even bring a stick bag, which probably was an oversight. That would have been helpful. But
yeah,
I didn't bring anything just because I didn't really know what the circumstances were going to be. I just and I knew that they were saying there was full backline there and they had a 9,000 pedal, so I was kind of like cool, I'm just gonna take my chances and kind of hope for the best. And the gear was great, and it's never perfect. It's never exactly kind of what you want, or it's never just right. But I try to just sort of water off a duck's back and
mhm.
just try to show up. And maybe I don't get as crazy, or maybe I don't try to be as flashy. I just try to keep it together more.
I
Right.
mean, I feel like unless you're going like real that really like fast punk, punk beat, whatever, you can kind of get away with using a different pedal. If you're
Yeah,
playing a little bit slower or not as complicated kick patterns.
and even when we're doing even when we do we have like two songs that use that sort of like one 4/2
Sticky,
yeah, sticky and
sticky.
weo, and it's like I'm not even doing doubles. I'm not doing doubles in any of that. It's like I can do that kind of fairly competently. I'm not smelly, I'm not
Yeah.
Eric Sandin, so it's like I don't have
I like how
the
you clarified.
that kind of
Like I
that
do
tick.
smell okay. I'm just not.
I smell fine sometimes, but I'm not that smelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can't do it like he does, and it's like nobody in my band really gives a shit. So they're kind of like, and I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to kind of add more of that just to sort of make it more punk rock. And like Mikey is just like, don't, why? That's just basically what Mikey sounds like. Don't. So because he was just like he's like it doesn't need it. He's like it just doesn't groove, doesn't gel, So I'm usually just playing, just kick snare, kick snare, kick snare.
The polka
Yeah.
beat.
I think playing
Yep,
that
exactly.
gallop beat, you have to, I think the bass has to be with you if you're playing that beat because
Yeah.
like in on those fast songs,
Oh,
Sticky
it's
and
so easy to hear it turned around, and I hear it turned
yeah.
around all the time when I hear bands playing that. I try to just sort of really make sure that I'm doing accents on one, on a
Right.
cymbal often, or I'm like leaving a kick out here and there so that or like putting a not like a 16th in, but maybe at least like an extra eighth or something, one slightly offset, like I might do for a slightly slower punk song. And I don't feel like it gets away too much, but that's just at least in my own brain. And maybe if you're listening to it, you're all, nah, man, just fucking all over the place, and it's like it's all turned around. But I'm hoping that at least it doesn't feel like it's turned
No,
around for
you've
me.
always been a very I remember like I'm remembering back to maybe 98 when I saw you guys. I think it was at Trees in Dallas and they have like a
Oh wow, yeah,
yeah, it was a long time ago, and they have this staircase that goes up in a little balcony above, and I was standing up there
yeah.
looking right down at you playing, and I remember thinking like this guy, he was like professionally taught because your posture was so good and your
Oh, good.
kit was like so perfect, and like the way you played was just very like very very technical, but it wasn't like overly technical or anything like that. But I noticed that day that you were so good at something that sounds very simple but is hard to play, and that's doing your kick and your snare at the same time without flamming it.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you do a lot of that in dance hall, and
Thank you. I mean, that's super kind of you to
it's
say.
I
I really,
love
really
you're
appreciate
so
it.
good at that. Yeah, so
It
good at
is
that.
it is hard.
We were just
Yeah,
talking
no,
So
about
it's
that.
something that it's always been kind of part of what what Dancehall Crashers has done, and it was like a lot of times, like especially early on, a lot of the ska songs that they have, especially on the first record that I didn't play on, the drummer is doing two hands, 16th notes and stuff like that, and I was like, but still with that four on the floor, kick drum is very common, especially in like third wave ska, for upbeat stuff, it's four on the floor,
Mhm.
four on the floor, kick drum. And so I tried to just kind of get into the habit, or at least build up the speed in order to do that with 16th notes rather than two hands, because it felt way better. Was the anecdote that I share, or that was shared with me, was like um, Manu Katché on "In Your Eyes" by Peter Gabriel is
Mhm.
playing that whole part. It's super slow, and it sounds like it could be two hands, but it's a
Mhm.
single-handed but
Oh,
very fast, 16th note pattern with one hand.
yeah.
Um, and it sounds the way it sounds, and it sounds that groovy because it's like him playing it with 16th notes with one hand. So I was always like, okay, I've got to figure that out. I think it's way harder to play, two hands, especially like Rocksteady, another Manu Katché. He's like my favorite drummer ever. On the Sting record, like the doom, 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 bop, where he goes from playing basically a halftime field, but, swung, and then he's got all
Mhm.
these doubles, in between everything. But yeah, for me, it was kind of like it felt like it made more sense to play 16th notes. And then I I like to kind of flam it sometimes, between the kick and the snare. But for the most part, I think like if I can lock it in like that, and Mikey and I can lock in, it's just like
It's so
it
tight.
feels really good,
Yeah,
and
and
then it just lets the guitars kind of be wherever they want to be.
yeah, and flamming can certainly help fill out some empty space too. So
Yeah,
if you decide to do that, that's when you can do it on command, that's when you know you're in control and
it's
or
fun. Yeah,
yeah, and you can write it as
it
part of a
feels
song
good.
for
Yeah,
sure.
But
that's what I'm trying. Like what we've been doing too is we've gone back is doing stuff with like the sort of the ska beat that we do in like Lost Again, like the boom bop bop bop,
Hmm. Yep.
where I'm consciously sort of letting those bop bops be slightly behind the beat, so it's almost like a boom bop bop bop, where almost like has a little bit of an accent to it, creates this kind of different moving feel. Just as a contrast to just boom bop bop boom
Mhm.
bop bop, it's kind of
Right.
fun to pull it back a little bit sometimes, or
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
get into a hi-hat pattern, that kind of leans into one of the notes. It's just trying to make it feel a little better, feel a little musical. I mean, that's what all the guys that I really look up to as drummers, like are feel drummers,
Hmm.
and it's like, that's who I would love to be. That's like what I really enjoy playing is like, you know, put me in Steve Miller or something like that, where it's just like slow, groovy country rock, and it's like, I will, I'll die a happy person.
And that's what
yeah,
I've always seen you as is feel and like a mix of feel and
Oh, well,
technical.
thanks. I
Hmm.
mean, I mean, with DHC, it's kind of, I feel like it's just sort of playing the parts and, and getting kind of through it. I never really thought, about, I think whatever style I kind of play with that sort of stuff with just sort of developed from, that's the kind of thing that I'd been playing almost my whole career. The whole time I've been playing has
Yeah.
been in that band. So
Hmm.
it's just kind of just something that I guess just developed that way
Yeah.
organically.
Yeah. And I mean, as an outsider looking in, I can tell that's you playing,
Yeah, it's funny
whatever it
too.
is, I could tell that's you.
Oh, no, thank you. That's very kind. I was gonna say it's yeah, whatever it is, it's me playing. I was gonna say, it's funny because like when we recorded like our last
Hmm.
studio record that we did, we recorded all the drums in one day with no overdubs. And I'm pretty sure most of them, because this was how rehearsed we were. It's like I'm a very anal sort of rehearsal person. I practice a lot on my own. And like we were very well rehearsed and demoed and stuff like that. So that's like, experience and like being able to play it. But it was pretty rad to go in there and basically be done with tracks in a day.
So,
Um,
sorry, Christian, but I have to ask him a question about that album because there is a song on that album that I just absolutely love, and you do the
why would you
coolest
apologize?
because I know you want to move on.
No, no, I'm.
No, I'm just playing. No, no, there's a do you think you're beautiful?
oh yeah.
The
Yeah. That's
chorus,
one of my very
that
favorites.
hi-hat thing you do, like I was listening to that today and I'm like, how do you playing that? Like
It's just
it's so
16th notes and then like move to
okay.
one of the toms, doom, doom, doom,
Oh,
like
you
three
hit a tom
times or,
there? Okay, okay.
yeah, like it's probably mixing wise
Oh
or
yeah,
like
you
just in
do.
terms of how I hit them. Yeah. So
Uh,
it's just fast 16th notes,
because it's
two
like, do
hands.
you think you're beautiful? Do do.
Do, do,
Is that
doom.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Totally.
Okay, yeah, dude. So
I
I
was
mean,
really that's like my favorite sort of recorded thing I've ever played on. I'm really sort of, I feel good about it. I think it sounds
it
good.
sounds
Most
so
of
good.
the
The
time I
snares,
don't
fat.
love hearing myself. So,
Yeah, dude, I
oh
love that
yeah, the
album.
snare was awesome. That was really fun. That was a great record. We made that. Fat Mike produced that, which was really cool. And yeah, we were just super well rehearsed. There's a bunch of demos I think that are kind of even like better. I think where I performed my part better, which is pretty cool. They're not mixed as well, and like it's the mics in the studio and stuff are nowhere near as amazing as where when we recorded it. Because I'm pretty sure that was at Fantasy. I think most
Mm.
of the records we recorded were at Fantasy Studios in Berkeley, which is such an incredible facility that no longer exists,
Is that where
sadly.
you recorded "Honey, I'm Homely"?
Yep.
Okay,
Hmm.
that's probably my
And Lockjaw.
favorite. Okay, and
Oh
Lockjaw.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Honey I'm Homely was really fun too. That was another one I'm pretty sure we did all the drums in like a day or two. We kind of get through the drums really quickly. And we would record guitar, bass, drums, and then maybe they would overdub bass. A lot of times with Mikey, they didn't have to.
Oh
Because
yeah,
and he didn't
yeah.
necessarily need to
And were
because
you
he's
using a
just so
click?
solid. We did not use a click on Per for sure. There
Okay.
are songs I kind of wish we had.
Yeah.
I don't know that we did on Honey I'm Homely either.
I feel like you.
I
It feels like you did. Just
we might have on some songs too, but I know for certain we did on Lockjaw.
yeah.
And then that was mixed by Jerry Finn, may
Hmm.
he rest in peace, which
Oh,
has a particular sound to it that, in retrospect, I don't love. I feel like it. I prefer the sort of more live, sound, because a lot of the stuff that he would do would be replace all the snares with one snare, or
Right.
replace all the kicks with one kick, or something like that, where everything was kind of dumped into Pro Tools and just sort of, you know,
I,
um,
I mean, I thought that was before
put in
Pro
place.
Tools.
No, not really. I mean, it may not have been Pro Tools, but that's how he mixed. That's kind of what he would do.
Okay.
We were
Okay.
definitely recording on tape for sure.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Big
Okay.
old fat 2-inch reels.
Yeah, for sure.
so
Okay.
did you play? It's funny is we always I think anyone who grew up in a small town or maybe even not had kind of had their own names for some albums. So we always called it the Charlie Brown record.
Oh yeah, the old record.
Were you on that record?
I play on like 4 of those songs. I play
Oh,
on
what a horrible time
Nuisance.
for my end to freeze up.
Uh,
Oh,
so I
it'll freeze up once and then
oh,
it'll
did I freeze
unfreeze and
too?
then be fine.
Oh,
No, Christian
Okay,
will
we're
freeze
back.
up.
We're
There we
back.
go. There we go.
so I played on like 4 songs on that record. Most of that is like the original record called Say Cheese, or no, the Say Cheese was the demo. So the old record, the original record was just Dancehall Crashers, and that was I think like 12 or 14 songs, and then we like recorded 4 more: North Pole, Nuisance, He Wants Me Back,
That's
and another
the Charlie
some other
Brown.
one.
That's the Charlie Brown one.
Yes. And so
Yeah.
that's the old record that was re-released by Honest Don's, which was a
Yes.
subsidiary of Fat.
Yep.
Okay.
And we were one of the first releases on Honest Don's. But
So
yeah, so that's our
did
first record.
did you play drums on My Problem?
No, not on that record.
No. Okay.
But I've played it 1,000 times since.
Well, so I guess I mean that was something that I had kind of written down. But I mean, just because you didn't write the part doesn't mean you can't speak on it. I thought it was a really
Sure.
interesting choice. I don't know the original drummer's name, but the
Eric Larson.
Eric Larson. So the the chorus, the ride doesn't kick in until halfway through
Yeah.
the chorus, which was weird. And there's no crashes. There's a ton of crashes and accents during the verses, but the first half of that chorus, there's 0 crashes and just hi-hat accents, and it just switches over to the ride. Did that ever like learning other people's parts, or did you kind of just do your own thing? Or
So I was told, especially by Jason early on, was to like get basically the changes and like play how I wanted to play.
That's great.
So I don't think like I probably was very much trying to do, whatever Eric was doing, but I'm also pretty easily distracted and kind of ADHD, which I didn't know was a thing, back
All of
then.
us drummers are.
Yeah, I mean, it's Jesus. And so I think I probably like initially was really focused on getting that right. And then like once we were playing the song, it was like, I don't really need to do any, I can kind of do whatever I want to do. And yeah, usually like one of the notes I would kind of get, especially early on, was like to keep things from slowing down, to keep things speeding up or to keep things moving, and to make sure that like I was accenting things in places that made sense. So,
Fair enough.
yeah, because I was like 17, and I was a kid, and like they were an established band, and like I hadn't really been in a real band. I certainly hadn't like traveled to do show. I mean, not outside the Bay Area to do shows, but so yeah, I was kind of young and new, and I was like, yeah, you guys, whatever you want me to do. Which I think probably created a lot of anxiety in me too. And then sort of meeting other drummers, I always felt pretty intimidated by the drummers. Like, oh, how long have you been playing? It's like, oh, it's so much longer than me. All that sort of stuff that we do to ourselves when we're young.
Yeah, I still do it. I mean, whenever I play
So
like
do I.
a
Yeah.
festival or something, and then like
Oh God, they're the worst.
yeah, I know, and I'm sitting here thinking like I don't,
Yeah.
compared to
I'm
all
like,
these.
I'm just showing up and I'm wearing like my shirt and my shorts and my Vans, and like that guy's like not wearing any shirt, and he's got a fur coat on, and he's wearing boxing shorts and a
Listen,
crazy fucking bandana. And it's like,
I'm sorry for that outfit.
okay,
It was laundry day. That's all I had clean. You're never gonna let that go, are you? Come on.
that's partial. That one is partially true as well.
No.
But yeah, no, it's weird. Festivals feel super strange too, because it's like no one really meets or talks to each other unless you already know them. Which was really cool about Warped in DC, because we got to see like the Jakes, the Less Than Jake guys. We got to see Pennywise, which had been crazy. Hadn't seen them. I hadn't seen them in forever, even though they've been out there doing it forever. Got to see Fishbone, which was
Mhm.
super
Oh
rad.
wow.
I mean, that's always been one of my very favorite bands.
And what a voice too, to hear that live.
Oh,
Had to be,
Angelo,
you
yeah,
can
for
still
sure.
belt those freaking
Oh,
notes out.
totally. So they sounded, I want to say, and we've seen them a lot because we toured with them on Warped in, I think, 96, maybe also in 97. We've definitely done a lot of shows. We played at the Olympics with them in the Winter Olympics in Utah in 2000, whenever that was. That's an easy one to look up. But yeah, we played with them a ton. And I think seeing them in DC, they sounded better than I've ever heard them. Now it's a different drummer. It's not Fish. So that for me is tough because I'm a huge Fish guy. It's not Norwood playing bass either. It's a different bass player. But he kind of, he wore the overalls and everything too. I mean, but Chris Dowd is back too, which for me is incredible because he was always, for me, as the songwriter, those are my favorite records. Love that band though.
Yeah, that's crazy. I did want to ask. I want to go into the 2 degrees of Timmy Chunks.
Oh yeah.
How I was watching that.
I'm like a single degree with Timmy Chunks.
Really?
Yeah, Timmy worked with us for a while. He did guitars for us off and on for probably like 5 or 6 years. So we knew him really well. When he and Sherry were married, we were really close with Sherry as well. She and Elise worked together quite a bit. Yeah, no, I know Timmy Chunks. I miss Timmy Chunks. I'd love to see him. I haven't seen him in forever.
So he's, I believe, in Jersey now. So I'm
yeah.
I have a good friend, and I feel so douchey mentioning, but Brian from Bouncing Souls is a good friend of mine.
Oh, right on.
And I
love those guys. We toured with those guys a bunch too.
Fucking sweethearts, right? That they do that Stoked for the Summer tour every year. You guys got to get, maybe next year we'll get Dancehall Crashers going. But
sure.
I saw Timmy. I mean, I hadn't seen him. I don't know him well or anything, but I hadn't seen him forever, and I was a huge Token Entry fan as a kid.
Oh, right on.
So like seeing him was kind of like
to hear that.
I was kind of like secretly bugging out, and Brian like introduced me to him. I'm like, hey, and then like inside I'm like, what the fuck? That's Timmy. And all those Chunk Saw records and stuff. Like I just did. Yeah, that's funny, man. It is. It seems like the world just gets like kind of, the more people you meet, the smaller the world gets. It's really weird.
The thing that really blew my mind about Timmy Chunks, aside from the fact that he calls Mikey, our bass player, he just calls him Prick. hey, Brick, because like Mikey pulled all of his strings off at the end of a show one night. And Timmy was just like, Prick. But my crazy Timmy Chunk story has nothing to do with me. But we went to the Greek Theater in Berkeley, California. It's a great venue to see the Beastie Boys. So my wife we grew up listening to the Beastie Boys because we're
Mhm.
old, but she's a massive Beastie Boys fan. And we're there and we're rocking out. And who was on stage doing the guitars? Timmy fucking Chunks. I was like, holy shit, that's Chunks. And I'm like texting people. This is like barely text is right. It's very
Yeah.
new. This is probably like 2002. And I'm trying to text people. Does anybody have Timmy's number? I want to call Chunks.
I was just
No.
looking around because I have my sabotage action figures back there
Oh, dude,
somewhere, but my giant parasol of a head is blocking all of it.
I
So
never like bit the bullet to get those. I thought about getting the reaction sabotage, the little
Yep.
3 3/4 inches.
yeah, that's what I have. Yeah.
As you may have noticed, I'm in a space that contains some toys.
I
Yes.
see.
This is my sort of pride and joy in my collection.
I really appreciate you guys waiting like an hour and 20, before even bringing it up too. It's very decent.
Well, I wanted
got
to I wanted to
Johnny
say
Cash and Biggie Smalls over here. I got my little collection.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
I wanted to say I have a kind of a connection to you, well, to
Oh, right
dancehall.
on.
Well, I'm in a band called Fire Sale, and our bass player is Matt Riddle from
Oh
No
shit.
Use. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's who I'm playing with in
Dude.
Europe. So,
Oh my God. Tell him that I love him dearly. I haven't seen him. We toured a ton with No Use. Especially like we had a really memorable tour with them in Australia. Just before that was in 2000. It was like a week before I got married. But yeah, I love Matt. I've always loved Matt.
I'll text him right
And I
now.
hope he's doing well. Yeah. Is he still in like out in like the down in I don't want to say the name of the town, but down in the Inland Empire?
Yeah,
He used
yeah,
to be. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Can
Yeah.
we have his home address, please, Gavin?
Yeah,
Well,
I don't. I think we're friends on Facebook, but I haven't like
It was
communicated with
crazy
anybody
though.
in
Like
the scenes.
it was crazy because they all came to my house, like because we're all spread around and we record separately, and then Matt Riddle shows up in an Uber to my house and stays with us, and I'm like, I'm in a band with you, but I was just thinking, I guess was it Elise that sang on the No Use, or was it both? Was it?
No, Karina sang on it, but Elise managed No Use for a Name for a long time.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So
Yeah.
that's my
But I'm pretty
connection
sure it
to
was
you.
Karina that sang on that song. And Karina, Karina was also very tight with Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it was like I knew Rory pretty well, but I was like probably hung out with Matt more. But yeah, I was also pretty antisocial, in touring. I'm like, I just like to play video games and do my drugs
so does
and
he.
drink, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's true he does.
What
That's
is it?
probably why he like gravitated to me and my brother, because we'd just be sitting on when we were fortunate to have a bus. We'd be sitting in the bus playing usually like Tekken 2, something like that, just like beating the crap out of each other. But
he's
there
a
was
great guy.
that happened like 3 times. Where we had
So
buses,
he's been playing in face to face. He's filling in for
right
Scott.
on.
Yeah, he just
Yeah,
played Mexico City and then Chicago and
good for
all
him.
that. So he's cheating on us for sure.
Living the dream. Well, he's a bass player. Bass player, you're never in a committed relationship with a bass player.
I just sent him a text and told him you said hi. So I'll probably hear from
Right.
him in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, you. I should give you my number so that
Yeah, for sure.
passing along to other people. And no, say hi to Dave Smalley, punk rock legend.
Yeah,
That's pretty
man.
rad.
He's one of the sweetest guys I've ever known.
Oh yeah,
So
we had a really great time with him. I think again on Warped, maybe Warped in Europe. I don't remember.
Yeah.
We did quite a bit of touring with
So
with
nice.
Dave and Down by Law.
so I did
Or
their
no,
last.
it wasn't Dag Nasty. No, it was Down by Law. Man.
Yeah, I don't think he's done
Yeah.
Dag Nasty in a while, but he like
No, that was way long.
I did their last album called Crazy Days, and we did it remotely, which was insane.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's
and then
amazing.
we've been working on this. He's doing a solo album, so
Oh, right on.
I've been working on that for the last I don't know year, I guess. And
That's
I think
fantastic.
we're almost done with everything because I'm doing a lot of
Sweet.
percussion and stuff. A lot of percussion.
Ooh,
It's
cool.
very kind of low key, and there's some songs that get on it a little bit, but most of them is like a shaker and a tambourine and a cajon or djembe or something like that.
I want
I like
to
that
watch you
stuff.
do these things so bad.
I know.
Just that
Yeah.
hand movement that you did.
We need
I was
we
like,
need a live stream.
Start
It's so
snapping.
weird.
You beatnik, you. What are you doing? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, it could be like
Hey.
a bottle of earplugs.
I thought those were
Yeah.
Tums. I was like,
I was gonna say, yeah, Tums would have a better sort of ring to them. If you got here, they're like 5 feet away. We can grab
Oh,
the Tums.
I've got a pill bottle full of medicine that I use as a shaker sometimes.
you know,
Oh yeah, nice.
I hate to kind of, I don't know if we were, but there is one other person that I wanted to mention too, who mentioned you, is Mr. Johnny Cruz from Limp.
Oh shit, Johnny Cruz.
Yeah,
How is Johnny Cruz? I haven't
Johnny
seen Johnny in a long time.
Johnny is become a good friend of the show and a good friend to Matt and I. We talk to him all the time. In fact, he came up in conversation during Dave Ron's episode, and
Oh yeah,
we called him like mid
right on.
episode. So,
Yeah, Johnny and I used to hang out quite a bit. We like had he had this AOT kit that he got that was incredible. He and I
still
like
has it.
he and I sat and like went to a practice space one time and we just kind of like jammed on these ideas that he had, him playing guitar, me playing drums, and we probably played like 3 or 4 ideas, which I still have because I recorded them on mini disc. I fucking recorded everything back then. So I have like, 400 mini discs, of just like tiny little recordings and bad bootlegs and weird random crap. But yeah, no, I miss Johnny. It's been a long time since I've seen him.
Well, I'm sure he would not mind. I mean, obviously not now, but maybe when we stop, I can pass along his info to you.
Sure,
he'd probably love that. But he said you were pretty much responsible for him being in Limp.
Huh. I was in Limp very briefly.
Yeah, well, I think he kind of alluded towards you sort of recommending him.
I might have. I don't know how I knew him. I thought I met him through somebody else. I feel more like that's probably Phil brought him in and not me, but I don't know. It's entirely possible.
I like the
I don't
story
remember
where you brought him in.
I mean, that one is cool, but it would help if I had at least something I could use to flesh it out a little bit, which I don't.
Dude, I'll call him right now.
Yeah, no, I don't remember. He's going to put me on the spot, and then I'm going to feel dumb.
All right, well,
are you really going to call him?
I have no issue if we do another segment of phone calls to Johnny. It's up to Gavin. I don't want to put you on the spot.
Well, at some point, I have to make dinner for my wife and kid. At some point.
That's fair.
Yeah, we can wrap it up.
Probably
soon.
But I'll definitely pass that along if you don't mind.
No, please do. Yeah, no, not at all. Any of my email that you got or anything like that is probably easy.
He's a sweetheart. Johnny's great. Well,
he is. It's been a long time since I've seen him. The last time I saw him,
at this point, yeah, we are rolling up on an hour and a half, and we don't want to keep you too long.
I think he froze.
I don't know if Matt, if you had anything else you wanted to.
Oh, did I freeze?
No, I think Christian froze or something.
I could still hear Christian.
Oh, okay. Look, he's frozen.
Oh, okay.
There we
I can't
go.
see him now.
No, because
I'm on a phone, so I only see you. Like,
y'all were talking over each other and didn't realize it. And I was like, oh, someone's frozen.
That was me. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I was just going to tell my Johnny Cruz story. The last time I saw him was in downtown San Francisco, and he was in a truck with like 2 other guys working for a painting company. It was crazy. And I was like, hey, man, you still painting? He's like, yeah.
He still has that AOT kit, too.
I love that kid. I was always a total sucker for wood hoops, and it was Matt fucking Cameron. It absolutely was. He's another one of my absolute favorite drummers.
I remember seeing Yuri playing at AOT back in the '90s, and he taped it off to where it said Yuri.
Yeah, it was smart, Yuri.
Thought that was clever. Yeah,
I love Yuri.
He was on too.
I've always just been a sucker for wood hoops. I just thought they looked cool.
They do.
Aesthetically.
They look great.
Yeah. But die-cast hoops probably sound better, but they don't look as cool.
Have you ever had an S hoop before?
What's an S hoop?
An S hoop is Rhino. I'm not sure if you know Rhino. Jeff Newman. He's Descendants tour manager.
That Rhino. I thought you meant like a company. I don't know him, but I absolutely know who he is.
So S hoops, they're great. He put us onto them. They come up and over the bearing edge a little bit. So if you want to throw a mute ring on there, you can turn your drum upside down and it won't fall out. But like you can hit consistent rim shots and it won't blow your stick apart. They're
because it's a wider, flatter surface.
Yeah. I can actually
or a rounded surface.
Does Byron use those? Because I know that like he was out with Pennywise on Warped. I'm pretty sure.
And it's
Rhino was.
a little hard to see,
Yeah,
but they
I'm
go
not sure if
over
he
the bearing
does.
edge.
Oh, interesting.
They're great. I put them on all
And
my snares.
is it a higher or is it a lower profile? I'm
Um,
s- I'm really I'm very used to the height of these big ass diecast hoops I
yeah,
usually use
that's
on
yeah.
snares.
No, I don't think that they go up. I mean, any you can see
It looks a little
it's.
more flush, but it doesn't look too much more
I mean, that's
flush.
a fingertip, but just the way they
Yeah,
curve over, it's. They're. I mean,
I'll try one.
that's.
I'll get one. I'll check it out.
I need to do
I
it
mean,
too.
that's the best thing about them is they're only $20,
I
which
mean,
is pretty
I
cool.
got a bunch of snares. I could probably throw them on and try it
Yeah,
out. So
yeah, they're
no
cool.
trouble.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, should we start wrapping it up?
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
don't want to keep it too long.
Yeah.
We usually take it out with a segment called "Questions from My Kids."
Oh, fantastic!
So, um, they'll range from rational to insane as far as
Yeah,
the age order goes.
good,
But
good.
what was one of the favorite places to eat on the road, like a restaurant that's not near you that you loved?
Oh, so the Bridgetown Grill was this like Caribbean restaurant. There were a bunch of them in Atlanta. There was one in Little Five Points. There was one like in a hotel that was on probably a street named Peachtree. But yeah, love that place. Miss it a lot. There was another barbecue place that the 930 Club in DC used to like bring the food in from, but I don't remember the name of it. But Bridgetown Grill, like the jerk chicken sandwich was incredible.
Okay, all right. And then your favorite condiment?
My favorite condiment is probably hot sauce or mustard or
Okay,
soy sauce. I like condiments a lot.
all right. And now now we're going to the younger ones. Unicorns or narwhals?
Narwhals,
Narwhals. Okay. Pink or purple?
purple.
Purple. Okay, that wraps it up.
Hey, well, that
That's
was easy.
it was easy
Those
enough.
were all perfectly rational
I'll have to get some
questions.
questions from my kid too someday. I have
Yeah.
not participated in this yet. So
Yeah, I sometimes I there have been some where like they'll write them down and I won't see them until I open them. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm asking someone if they poop their pants on stage or not.
Yeah.
So you got relative.
Oh, that's a really good one. But that's a powerful question because we all know someone that has, right?
Yes,
Right?
the way you're
Yeah.
saying that means you.
No, I have not. I have
Okay.
not. But I know several people that have, and
Yeah.
it's something that happens. You get sick on the road, and you're standing there, and you got to be there. You can't like leave.
Mhm. Well, luckily we're sitting down, so it's
Exactly.
masked a little bit. But
Whatever.
well, dude, this was really a lot of fun, man.
Thank you so much.
It was
It's an honor
really
to
great.
be invited. It really is. It's an honor to people want to talk to me about drums. So
Absolutely.
feels
I
good.
feel like I don't, and Matt, I know I can't speak for you, but maybe down the road, if you're ever interested in coming back for a second round, I'm sure there's
Oh
so much
yeah,
other
totally.
stuff we could cover too. So we try to keep them around an hour and a half.
Sure. Yeah, no, totally. And I'm happy to do it, later, another time too. I just want to know when I don't have people texting me saying, "Hey, when's dinner?" Well,
go take care of your family. Family
as
first.
Yes.
someone that cooks it, I guess that's my job sometimes. But
Awesome,
yeah,
man.
but
Well,
we're all dads, we're all family people. But yeah, again, huge honor. Thank you so much for having me.
Same.
thank you. It's been a
Same.
pleasure. Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
joining
much.
us. Yeah, this
Right
was
on.
great. I've wanted to talk to you forever, so this was really cool.
Oh, dude, that feels super weird. Thank you.
All
In a
right,
good
well,
way, in the best
yeah,
possible way,
yeah.
but weird in a good way. Yeah.
Well, you have a wonderful night.
Likewise.
All
All
right,
right,
take
thanks,
care.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.